if elected, I will be the first Black woman into the Senate in the 164 years of Minnesota Senate.
Wait, first
Say it again.
Black.
Let's sit on that for a minute.
First
Black
woman.
Imagine.
In how many years? 164 years.
I want people to vote for me because I'm overqualified for this role. Because
You
I
are.
know I can do it.
Yes, you are.
I have the experience, I have the background, I have the tenacity, I have everything it takes to perform this job and be a senator for this district. But let's remember the significant historical moment we are in right now. Think about it. A Black African American, I'll be representing that. An African immigrant, I'll be representing that. A Kenyan, East African, a Kenyan, a Kisii. Think about that. That's a lot of representation right there.
Yeah.
People are 48 hours away from being deported. Imagine. 48 hours away.
How was that? Let me ask you.
Yes.
We are moving towards a very important topic
Yes.
in your life. You're trying to be a senator in the US. I don't know if this is a dream you had when you started your journey from Kenya. I don't know if you had even ever imagined of going into politics. I want you to touch a little bit on your journey from Kenya, and then give me a swift move into what you want to do right now as a senator.
Yes. Oh my goodness. So my journey from Kenya, I came here when I was 9 years old. So my dad was already here, and he's been here for a couple of years, back in the 1980s, early 80s. I do. I have an older brother. And then it's me, and then it's my younger brother, and then my little sister was born here. And all of us know Kisii. I just have to put it out there for my mom's sake.
Your mama anataka kila mtu ajue Kisii.
Which was a blessing as well.
We have to be proud of this.
We have to. Because if we lose our identity, here in America is so easy.
Oh, it's quick.
Quick like that.
It's quick.
And so back then, I grew up in a home where my parents, okay, so journey from Kenya. So I came here when I was 9. My dad was already here, and my mom came here a couple of years prior to, so we stayed with my uncle. So my uncle is the one who brought us. So once we came here, my dad started working on filing for us, and that whole journey began. So I remember growing up, and my mom was very, very much, if you know my mom, she's that traditional Kisii woman, mother, and she made sure that we learned Kisii and our culture. Back then, I used to be like, "That's how you, mama." I'm trying to assimilate to this culture here so I can fit in. This language, this culture, and it's so easy. And this American culture is so easy for you to get caught up in.
Exactly.
So I look back now, and I will never put how much appreciation I have for my mother for doing that.
There's no price for that.
Because now I can go and relate to the community. I can relate to my elders. I can go there and have a conversation in Kisii, and proud to call myself a Kisii, and not lose that, and pass it on to my daughter. Because right now my daughter is like, the other day she started singing some Swahili song, and I'm sitting here like, where did you get what? She even shocked me. Jenna was in Kenya for only 3 months. Wow. 3 months, and she learned that a little bit of Kisii, a little bit of Swahili. She was singing that song. And so to me, culture and cultural identity is important, and I'm really thankful for my parents for instilling that in us. And here in America, if you don't protect your identity, you will lose it. You can see our young kids nowadays. So one of the things that I really want to champion is this idea of us as African immigrants maintaining our cultural traits, our cultural language, you name it, and it's acknowledged at the state level. Anyways, so we came here, went to school, and my parents have been the kind of people who've always told us to give back. And so I started doing a lot of community work. Because back then, our people were coming in, they were coming in.
Yeah.
So people would stay in our house for like 3 or 4 months. Like I grew up having people living in my house. We never, there wasn't a day where I was like, hey, today is just me and my family, mom and my dad.
I need my room for myself.
And that taught me to appreciate community and family and giving back. And so after that, you know, I found myself in different leadership roles. And so that's why I always tell young people, what you're doing right now, you're building your life.
It's preparing
resume.
you for the future.
It's building, exactly. Because you can't just wake up one day and go, sasa nataka kukua hii. You have to start from somewhere. And I found passion in helping people, in being in spaces where I'm able to put this piece together so that this person is helped. And then that's when it brought me to MWANYAGETINGE. Actually, I was a secretary of MWANYAGETINGE back in 2015. And then that's where I really got that official, like, this is your role as a leader in the community. And then that just went from just the Kenyan community to the larger community here in the Brooklyn Center, Brooklyn Park. And then MWANYAGETINGE came about 2 years ago.
Wow.
And then now here we are. You know,
you looked back to it again.
Yes.
You had invested your actual work in it and you wanted to make it better.
Yes, exactly. So for me, I'm not coming out here to, especially community leaders, saying, hey, I'm here running. I'm coming to them as my brother, because I've had time to create those relationships. And relationships and network is key in anything. It doesn't matter if it's politics, it doesn't matter if it's business. If you are able to bridge that gap and create relationships with people, right now I can go to the Liberian community and say, my brother Kamati, he's the executive director of the Liberian community. I need this. Can I access your community? He's able to open that community to me because we have that relationship. So it wasn't something that I just woke up one day and was like, I'm gonna run. I feel like God aligns your steps where He wants you to go and opens doors and windows and opportunities for you to walk through. It's up to you to decide to walk through those doors, right? And so this role, I wasn't thinking about politics at all. At the Senate seat, what? So with everything, all the opportunities that I've had, what really made me even start thinking about politics, honestly, was when Piolo Lumumba came.
Oh.
Yes. So as a community leaders, we hosted him. We took him to the Capitol. Like I've been to the Capitol several times, doing, engaging with legislatures about certain topics. But it wasn't something that I was like, oh, one day I'm gonna come here. And so when I went to the Capitol with him, I met the Representative Rena Moran. She is probably the most powerful representative in the House of Representatives right now in Minnesota. And she basically, after I did my presentation, after that meeting, she came up to me and she was like, who are you? Where do you live? Are you with his team? Are you local? Are you thinking about running for office? And I'm sitting here going, what office? I asked her, what office? And she goes, we need you in the House of Representatives.
There you go.
And I'm sitting here like, I looked at her and I was like, what do you mean House of Representatives? We need you here at the Capitol. And she goes, I'm going to give you a week. Think about it. And I'm sitting here like, I just met this amazing, powerful woman who, I literally have to ask for an appointment. She can either decide to honor or not honor it. Like, that's how powerful she is. And she's over here approaching me. Who am I? So I literally sat there and thought about it. And then at the end of the week, she reached out. She was like, so have you made your decision? Who is your representative right now? Because we're going to unseat her. And I was like, okay, all right. And I told her I just need a little bit more time because I really wanted to pray about it. And then as I was doing that and giving myself time to think about it, God was working behind closed doors and talking to, I don't know how He was doing it. People started reaching out to me as well, telling me, hey, we need you there. What do you think about this? And then what did it for me, the last thing that had me over, I guess, the hill was I was volunteering for the mayor of Brooklyn Park. He was a candidate. He lost by 2 votes. We'll talk about that later. Wow. I was at his event. The outgoing senator announced her retirement and then endorses a candidate, another person who was at that meeting. I looked around. I was like, Where is the representation in this? Somebody needs to run. That's the day I decided to run. I was like, I'm going to run for Senate. Because in the House of Representatives, with my senator, she's doing an amazing job. I wasn't going to go against her. But then this seat was open at the right time. You see how God works?
Oh.
Maybe I waited long enough. Maybe God was working so I can wait long enough for this situation to happen, for me to say, you know what, I'm running for Senate, not House of Representatives, because there's two categories of power, the House of Representatives and then the Senate. And that's how it started.
Wow.
Yeah. And here we are, and it took a lot of people. The people who've been pushing me already knew, like your husband. He already knew that Huldah needs to be there.
Yeah.
I just needed to get there myself to acknowledge that.
Yeah.
Once I got there, there were other people who were like, she's just saying, she's just talking. But if you knew me, and if you knew if I put myself into something,
you are going to
you better believe it. And now we have them. Now we're not reaching out to people. People are reaching out to us. That shows you that now people are like, these people are serious. They're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, look at what we did at the convention. My opponent, 6 years as a political councilwoman for Brooklyn Park. But I was able to maintain lead in that convention. That speaks a lot of volume about the possibility of what is possible.
It does.
Yes. Yes.
God, I cannot tell you how much proud I am. But the fact that somebody's running, a black person, from our community. Say black person, black American, black what?
Yes.
Ni Mkenya wetu
kabisa,
Mkisi mwenzetu anaran anataka kuwa Senate. Hebu tuambie senator, how do you equate the Senate seat to, let's say somebody will be in Kenya wondering what is the equivalent of the Senate seat to a Kenyan position?
It's very similar to the Senate seat.
Can you imagine?
What?
Can you imagine? You are going, Madam Senator. Nowadays on Facebook we call you Madam Senator. We assume that we are going to win this seat.
Amen. We're not assuming, my sister. We are doing this.
We are going to win this
seat.
Yeah. We are coming back to actually tell people how they are going to support you to win this seat.
Oh, yes.
I know you've spoken about the reasons of running, but tell me how you being in the Senate is going to actually translate into our community positively.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So before we even touch on that, you talked about our own, right? For the longest time, we haven't had our own really anywhere of significance. Don't get me wrong now. We have amazing professionals out there. We have doctors, we have lawyers, we have all of this amazing, but in the political realm, we haven't, we claim the other communities as our own because now it's a larger community at the African community, right? But those are from another country. But here we are, Kenyans. How long have we been in this country and we don't have anybody?
Kenyans. There's a statistic that I saw last year. Wakenya walikuwa, I think, number 2. The people who work hard. Yes. Did you call your statistic?
Yes.
Ilikuwa, I think, in Nigeria, and then Kenyans who are like, wale watu wana work so hard. And even it actually showed in how much money we sent to Kenya. We contributed billions. How much into the economy of Kenya.
Yes.
But I cannot believe that we do not even have that representation anywhere.
I'm telling you, my sister, if elected, I'll be the first black woman into the Senate in the 164 years of Minnesota Senate.
Wait, first black.
Let's sit on that for a minute.
First
black woman. Imagine
in how many years? 164 years. Hakuna mwanamke black ameshaingia kwa hiyo.
Go through the history, you can't find a black.
And we're not talking about a Kenyan black or whatever, but
no,
black in general.
So think about the magnitude of the historical moment we are in this moment in time. If our people understood the magnitude of what this moment represents, and normally I don't go out there preaching that because I don't want people to say, oh, she's going because of that. I want people to vote for me because I'm overqualified for this role because
You
I know
are.
I can do it.
Yes, you are.
I have the experience, I have the background, I have the tenacity, I have everything it takes to perform this job and be a senator for this district. But let's remember the significant historical moment we are in right now. Think about it. A Black African American, I'll be representing that. An African immigrant, I'll be representing that. A Kenyan, East African, a Kenyan, Kisii. Think about that. Regardless, to me, honestly, regardless of what happens in November, I want to look back and say, I did everything that I could to pave the way for anybody else. And maybe this wasn't something that you even thought about, especially as immigrants here. We are so careful about the spaces we enter because we don't have a lack of access to knowledge and education about the laws of this land, right? Like you just want to stay to yourself, just maintain your family, go to work, come back, all of that stuff. But it's high time for us to step out and be bold. And if I can pave that way for some of us who are highly qualified to be in some of those spaces, please do. Calm down. Let's talk about how did I even get here. For example, opening a campaign account. Do you understand? I went to 5 institutions. They gave me hell and back. I had to file a complaint to get my account opened.
Why? How?
Because the system is not stacked for us, especially minority candidates, to succeed. So I'm trying to cut down those barriers so that when our people are coming, I already have a connection at this bank. I already have a connection at this office where you can go in and get all your registration. I already have access to staff. I already have access to all of this. You are just coming in and you're entering into the space and you're not fighting the battles that I'm fighting right now. You know, so
that's actually very important.
Yeah.
Because you're opening a way that has not been there. It's been no way. 164 years.
Yeah.
That just means hata nje yenye ilikuwa imezimwa.
Oh yes.
So hebu nikuulize, what are the qualifications? Is there any qualification of saying I want to? Because somebody there is like, no, Huldah has counted three degrees, a master's, and all this, and she's very eloquent. She speaks upright. She speaks very well. Is that a qualification? What are the qualifications? What's the minimum? For somebody there hoping that they can get into one of these seats and be like, oh, maybe me I can't because sina hizo zenye alikuwa nazo.
I think if you're talking about on paper, right? There's those qualifications on paper. You have to be a citizen. You have to be a resident of that district for at least 6 months. And there's one more thing, and you have to. There's 3 things that you have to do. A citizen, a resident of that district, and a registered voter, I believe. There's 3 main things. That's on paper.
These are 2 guys.
These are 2. So
there's nothing to do with like.
Until you need to have
you
this
have to be book smart, or you have to. You have to be smart.
Absolutely.
But it doesn't mean you have to get A's in your school. That's
exactly. So off the books qualifications, right?
Exactly.
So those off the books qualifications, I mean, have a resume, and if you're a serious contender, have a resume that shows your track record. Like what you've been doing. And so that's why I'm very animate about the young people. Very passionate about our young people. Because a lot of times, there's some things that we do in our youth that at that moment, we don't realize the implications in the future. And so for me, when it comes to this role, the other qualification I would say that is off the books, have a passion for this work. Exactly. Have a passion and a desire to do it. If you're going in there, it's politics like our Kenyan politicians, where they're just going in to line their pockets, right?
Exactly.
Not here. Not here. You have to have a reason why you're going into it. And that reason has to be community centered, has to be serving people. You know, because this job right here, there's no money in it. A senator makes $48,000 a year. A year, imagine. That's I mean, so I'm not going in it for the money.
Yeah. We've spoken of the qualification of being one of them. Let's say it doesn't have to be just a Senate.
Yes.
Something around.
I mean, we're talking about school district.
Yes.
school board. We're talking about city council. We're talking about mayor. We're talking about commissioners.
Yeah.
County commissioners. We're talking about the Senate. We're talking about the House of Representatives, and then we're talking about Congress. You know, Senate and House of Representatives for Congress, and then we're talking about the governorship. So there's a lot. There's a lot there for people.
There's a lot
really,
for people to come and represent their our communities, right? So, what is the qualification of the person who is voting for you?
Yes, great question. So I think you asked me, before I answer that, you asked me a question earlier that I think it was so important and I want to forget.
Okay.
You asked about, what am I bringing to the table?
Yes.
What do I want? Like, when I get there, how is that tied into our community?
Yes.
Right? And so for me, I look at this opportunity as for our community to have a seat at the table. Because when was the last time you had one of the senators come in and talking to us? Now, let me tell you how this works. Let me tell you how this law that just got passed yesterday impacts you. Let me tell you all of this stuff. It's about representation, where you can call me as your sister and go, my sister, Sasa, you legislate, they just passed this thing and I have a small business here. This thing, that's going to impact me. It's my job to take that and go back to the legislature and lobby for them to amend that regulation.
Okay.
That is what I bring to the community. And not only just here in the US, in Minnesota, think about the great work we can do in Kenya. Just imagine. Now, when I'm in that seat, I have access to various networks that I wouldn't have had access to.
Yeah.
Even this seat of MWANYAGETINGE, it has opened certain doors.
Yes.
But the Senate seat, my sister, if we wanted to make partnerships with like a hospital here, like Health Partners, a hospital system like Health Partners, and some hospital in Kisi, and say this is a sister hospital, it will take all these beds right here and outfit the whole entire hospital. We can do that. Or it's connected to the senator's office. Let's do that. Can you imagine the work that we will? So I'm not only looking at what I'm able to do here, I'm also thinking about our people back home. How do we impact that? Without even going out there and saying, my name is so-and-so, I'm a senator, I'm gonna do this on behalf of whatever. I can literally go there and just my title alone can make those connections and we can help our people that way.
Exactly.
That's what I'm going for. And I'm always trying to bring this vision to our community. Because right now, and we're gonna talk, I know you're gonna bring that up, how people can help me. My biggest thing is like, if our people only understood what was at stake, what not only the historical significance of this race, but what this office will do not only for our people here, but back home. My sister, we will all be in the streets right now. We will all be out there door knocking, getting the word out.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be out here begging for money.
Yeah.
Because even the Kisis alone, I just need 1,000 of our people. We have over 20,000 Kenyans here in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Over 20,000. I only need 1,000 to give me $100 and I reach my goal for the whole entire campaign. Then I don't have to sit here wasting time campaigning. Imagine, think about that. You know, so anyways, continue. So I just wanted to touch on that a little bit.
No, thank you. Thank you for actually answering me that question. So what is the qualification of somebody who can vote?
Yes. Okay, yes.
Also looking at ni watu wangapi tunataka kuamsha wakuje kuvote.
Yes. Hey, I like that. Let's wake up people. So first of all, qualifications of a voter. You have to be a citizen. So for the DFL, the Democratic Party, because I'm going for the Democratic Party. So for those of you who are wondering what party I align with, I align with the Democrats. So for the endorsement, you don't have to be a citizen. Literally, they opened up their platform where anybody, as long as you're a resident of that area.
What do you mean by endorsement?
So each political party endorses their flag bearer. You know,
because atujui the system. Actually, it's so funny. We don't know how the voting system is.
Yes.
Unaona? Si tuna assume anybody can even maybe changa or something like that. Atuelewi.
So that's what I want to clarify, because I want to make sure that we also keep the integrity of the campaign.
Exactly.
I know that people have especially our people. There's so many of us, let's be honest, who are going through some immigration challenges. And we want to make sure we're protecting those people as well. And they're also not doing something to jeopardize this campaign.
Exactly.
Yes. So let me answer this. To vote, you have to be a citizen of the United States, and then you have to be registered to vote. And then you have to reside in that area for at least 6 months. So now, anybody who wants to move into Brooklyn Park, Brooklyn Center, and Asio, now is the time. We only have this month, and then that 6 months is to November. Is it?
Okay. So people who live in what district in Brooklyn Park?
Yeah, that's another question. Yeah. That's another good question, because a lot of people there's this a little bit of confusion about what I'm running for. So I'm not running for U.S. Congress. So U.S. Congress is like the likes of our representative Ilhan Omar. You know, so their house is at the Capitol in Washington, D.C., right? My house, or our house, is going to be at the St. Paul Capitol. So I'm going for the Minnesota Senate, not U.S. Congress, like a representative of Minnesota in the U.S. in Washington, D.C. No, so I'm just running for Minnesota Senate. And so, yes, so those are the qualifications. And then when it comes to giving money, you have to be a citizen.
Wait.
Yes.
Yes. For those for those who are going to vote, they have to be residents of Brooklyn Park and Brooklyn Park.
Oh yes, the region. Yes. Yeah. So I'm going for District 38. 38. And that is the whole entire Brooklyn Center. The majority of Brooklyn Park, and then also the whole entire Asio.
Okay.
Yes.
So only people who live in those areas can vote.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And for you to vote, you have to be a U.S. citizen.
Yes.
Right? Okay. Now we know who can vote.
Yes.
And then now we want to know how the rest of us that don't live, like we don't live in Brooklyn, we cannot vote during that time. But the bigger help is not voting that you need.
Yes.
The biggest, how do we come in?
Thank you for asking that, because I think that the best way that this community can take a part of this is to come in and take part in whatever way that is convenient for each individual person, and whatever way is possible. So I am here asking for the community support. And there's so many ways you can participate. You can join the campaign team. You can help with the administrative part of the side of campaigns. You can help mobilize your own individual community to have gatherings for me, right? You can help fundraise, and you can help door knock. Door knocking is probably the best thing for a candidate. When we have people going out there, taking my message out to the people, and the more people we reach, the more we will mobilize those people to come and vote. Because if you're not out there, nobody knows who you are. And especially being a first-time candidate, not a lot of people know that I'm even running, that needs to know that I'm running. And so for our community, specifically for our community, these are basic, simple things you could do. Give money. Like I said, I just need 200 people to give $100, and we meet our goal for this month. I need 1,500 Kenyans to give $100, and I reach my $150,000 that I need to run a successful campaign. So money is huge, and we know we have that money. But the question is, where are we investing our money? And my goal as a community leader, as a candidate asking for support, is to show you that the money that you're investing in me, I'm investing back in you, not only you, but your generation and your children's generation to come. I'm hopefully, my goal is to lay groundwork so that your daughter and your son can have a world where they too feel like they belong, and they can take ownership of it. That's what I'm trying to build. And to be honest, Kenyans, we're generous when we want to be. When we are sold on an idea, we can move. Look what we do on any given funeral fundraisers. Look, we literally come together within days. We have enough money to do whatever we need to do with families. Look at baby showers. How many baby showers do you go to over the weekend?
Girl,
Uh-huh.
baby showers tunazienda. And we buy,
and
you know,
and I'm not saying these things, that's who we are. We are about community. But I want my community to have this mind shift of investing here. Because a lot of times we have invested so heavily in Kenya that we're having kids here. These kids are not going back to Kenya. These kids are not going. So when you invest in me, you're investing in your kids as well. You really are. And so money right now and volunteers. I need volunteers. When I say please come out, let's go do a knock, I want people to come. Even if we're door knocking every single day, my sister, right now, I was like, I'm sorry, I cannot join you. I have to come here because I knew this was important.
Yes.
But we are door knocking every single day from 4:30 until 8, every single day. And then on the weekends, we have 2 shifts. So you can manage to even come out 1 hour a week. That's all I'm asking. Just come out, do your door knocking. That's how you're getting. If money is an issue, because we are still working. I mean, we're still going through COVID. If money is an issue, then give us your time. Give us your time. That is it. And then show up to events. For example, I have an event coming up on the 22nd for my birthday.
On the 22nd, she has. Wait, we're gonna come to that. You want people to, most likely Kenyans. Kenya tuko na pesa. Tuko na pesa.
Yes.
Don't tell us tuko na COVID, because COVID actually, a lot of Kenyans benefited from COVID.
Because we
worked. You understand?
Those shifts were coming in.
So sometimes,
yes.
Let's not, you know what, tusipeane excuse ya senator wetu understand tuko na COVID. Apana. What she's asking for is a little bit of money. Who can contribute to your campaign?
Great. I love that question. So, you have to be a permanent resident. You have to be a citizen. And if you have these other statuses, only permanent residents and citizens can contribute, because we have to report that to the state.
Yes.
Yes.
And if your status is outside being a permanent resident or as a US citizen, you can still help. You can still help volunteer.
Yes.
She wants volunteers every day, door knocking. Who can door knock?
Anybody.
Who can volunteer?
Anybody.
Who can make phone calls?
Anybody.
You need somebody who can make phone calls and remind us, because tunapenda
Come to
kusahau.
my house and stuff envelopes.
Exactly.
If you want to help and if you have the time, we will put you to work. All I need is willing bodies.
So, and contribution haimaanishi you have to take all your paycheck.
Yes.
You know? Now, for now, I know that she's running a campaign of her birthday, which is on the 21st,
22nd,
right?
yeah.
22nd,
Yes.
right?
Yep, on
And
Sunday.
on 22nd, she wants, I saw this, she wants $37 because she's turning 37 that day. And she wants $37 or more for that day from a US citizen or a permanent resident. Who ni sisi wengi in that class, wengi ndio wako huko. Unaona? So she's not asking for a whole of your paycheck or something. Campaign kwake ifai kukua a huge problem, because we can do that. Unaona? She has already done the bigger job of digging through the holes of getting there.
Yes.
So wacha tuingie ndani in that manner.
Could you please? And again, you know, this month is a big month because we're heading into early voting. If you don't mind, let me jump into that.
Go ahead.
So the next step, if you're asking, okay, so what's the next big step here? The next big step is the primaries. Now the primary, and because this is an off year, meaning this is a mid-year election, meaning this is not a presidential election where everybody comes out and turns out for the presidential election. People don't vote in mid-year elections, but this mid-year election is so important. It's so important, not only for myself but for the DFL party, because the Senate has been controlling a lot of the Senate decisions, and a lot of the good work that we want to get done to the community has been hung in the Senate. So we're trying to flip the Senate blue. And so why we encourage all of our people to participate, whether you are Democrat, Republican, I don't care who you are, participate and come out and vote. Early voting. Our people would like to, let's be honest. Can we be honest? We
very, very honest.
Doing things last minute.
This is the time not to do last minute. Remember, I want us to give an example of what we did to Joe Biden. It's the one time that we went to do earlier voting, for God's sake. Like, do you remember how hectic our president was? I'm allowed to say that on camera.
Yes.
So we were ready. We were ready to move to the next vehicle. So we actually we did earlier voting.
Yes.
Take that urgency as the same right now.
Yes.
We are putting our own person in office.
That's right. And so if I don't get through the primaries August 9th, then my name won't be on the ballot in November. So this primaries is do or die. If I don't get through the primaries, I don't get myself in the ballot in November. So early voting starts next month on the 24th.
Wow.
We are here. We are here. And I don't want our people to wait until last minute. That's when, now they called me from work, I had to go. No. My sister, think about this. The mayor of Brooklyn, the race for Brooklyn Park mayor was decided by 2 votes. Tell me why my friend came out to me and was like, oh, it was the other day, my sister, how come you didn't remind me? I almost fell off my chair. Her whole entire household of 5 people. 5 people, none of them went to vote. And this man lost by 2 votes. And now look what we're having going on in Brooklyn Park. Wow. So come out, vote early, no excuses. If you have a reason as to why you can't do, if you need a ride, we will come bring you.
Yeah.
We will have people ready. If you need babysitters, we will figure that out. But come out and vote. Yes. Come out and vote next month. And then let's keep on plugging until August. Let's celebrate that way.
When is the final? Is it August?
So the primaries are in August because now there's 2 people running for my seat. And then from the Democratic Party. I don't know what the Republican Party and I don't know what other independent candidates are doing right now. So the primaries are in August, and then the general elections are in November. They're always on the 4th of Tuesday, 4th, every the election year, November. Okay. Yeah.
But right now, let's target on having her being the primary candidate,
yes,
right?
The primary candidate, yes. Wow. Yeah, it's.
I cannot wait for this moment.
It's a lot of work. It is the road, the journey is hard, but I've been encouraged by our community. A lot of people are like, well, where's your community? When it's time, they will come full force. Yes, and one of those opportunities is this on the 22nd. Please come out.
Where is this? Where are you holding this function on the 21st?
Yes, it's in Brooklyn Park. it's at Edinburgh, a golf course in Brooklyn Park. And I'll send you the flyer and you can share it however you want to do that. Yeah. But you know, we're going to be doing a lot of, we are doing a lot of marketing for it. And I'm hoping that, you know, this is one of those events.
Is it going to be an outdoor event?
No, it's, well, it's both. It's going to be, we have a beautiful space that also has a patio. So it's going to be a fun, energetic, and wamama wa Kenya kujeni.
Wakenya wanapenda kuchoma nyama. Utachoma nyama. So wase tuende tukule nyama.
Kujeni.
At the minimum, let's just go kula nyama.
We'll have chai, we'll have sambusas, we'll have mandazi. Kujeni.
So wale watu tuko na watoto, are we welcome?
Absolutely.
Can we come with our kids?
Bring your baby. This is a community.
Sasa sikia hauna excuse.
Yes, no excuse.
Mimi najua naulizia watu wengine wananifanana. For those who are... So we won't have an excuse of not going to that event. It will be good outside.
Yes.
It's a community event. Aina nini ubaya.
Yes.
The minimum that we can take to is 37. Otherwise, sisi vile tunajijua, we can do a lot.
Yeah, please. And by the way, the maximum one person can give is $1,000. So my sisters, my brothers, my friends, if I have been a blessing to you, now is the time to bless me. I normally don't ask for any help for myself, But this is the one time I'm asking because I don't need the money in November. I don't need the money in November.
No.
I need the money now.
You need the money now. In November, she's just going to be the senator.
Yes.
But the thing is,
Yeah.
even this one, you are not even asking this for yourself.
Yeah.
It's for the community.
Yes.
It's only that you are using your own beautiful birthday and giving it up.
This right here is, my sister, what you're doing is history in the making.
Thank you.
When CNN is reporting she's the first woman, they can use your clip. They can use your clip to say she interviewed her. This is what she said then.
There you go. So it's actually important even to me.
And I promise you, regardless of what happens, I still want to come back. By the time I'm a senator, I will be coming back. You will be having a big. I'm prophesying now, so let me prophesy.
Do that. What we did before you started this.
Right. You will have this big platform, and I will be more than honored to come back and say it started here. And by the way, for the listeners, to do this thing is no joke.
It's not.
It's not. People just think that somebody just turned on the camera and you do. My sister, you are doing great.
It's not.
You're doing great.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I want you to touch a little bit on, you spoke about voting. This is our duty, as I understand.
Yes.
It's our duty to vote. Tell us the importance of even somebody who is in charge.
Yes.
Why will somebody take 5 minutes or 10 minutes to go and vote? What does that represent? Haina kusema now, maybe when you are in church, you're not also participating in politics. Yeah. How is politics integrated with the church?
Absolutely. Politics is integrated to church more than you'll ever know. Because that plot of land...